Hello, I'm the biochemist, and I've got an experiment. I'm searching for the highs, the lows, and the mids of the PlayStation catalog here on the PS1 Library Deep Dive.
It's episode 15 of the PlayStation Deep Dive. Baseball season is now in full swing, and I love it. So in honor of America's pastime, we're going to talk about one of the first baseball games to release on the PlayStation. That's Triple Play 97. What's the best baseball game you've ever played? Who are you rooting for this season, and why is it not the Yomiuri Giants? Comment down below. First, we gotta start where all games start, and that of course is the cover art. 20 seconds, let's go. Plain and simple black and white gradient with black text on top. One 15-time All-Star, 8-time batting champion, 5-time Gold Glover, Hall of Famer Tony Gwynn gracing the cover. It could be a more interesting shot, but he's a great choice for a cover athlete. Rest in peace, Tony. Let's play ball.
Play ball!
Who's ready to learn some baseball?
Triple Play 97 is made by a niche indie studio called EA Games. Released in 1996 in North America, then the next year in Japan, Triple Play 97 was EA's second installment in the Triple Play series. Also released on PC at the time, critics praised the game when it first came out. Does it hold up today? Well, let's see. Honestly, I'm very impressed with this game overall. Everything flows so well. Once your game loads after the Star Spangled Banner, you won't have to worry about anything. It's like they implemented the pitch clock way back in 97. Innings fly by because action is non-stop. I think we get a good mix of simulation and arcade here. It's a nice balance for anyone who'd like to play a baseball game, I think. When you're on the mound, you'll have to slide to the left and right on the rubber to determine where your pitch is going to go. Then push a button combination to select which pitch you'll throw. It seems like every pitcher can just throw every type of pitch, so if you want to see Roger Clemens throw a knuckler, just hit left and circle. I do have to say that the controls overall for Triple Play 97 were not the most intuitive. So I had to have a little copy of the manual open on the side so I could kind of remember how to throw each pitch, how to do leadoffs, how to dive for the ball, etc. It's nothing like today where you have the buttons on the screen to tell you which pitch is which and whatnot. Nothing here is egregious, but I don't know, maybe just a bit antiquated in how things are done. It works though. Batting is very fun and it felt like I had control. I could reliably pull the ball or hit it to the opposite field, make it a grounder or a line drive. In fact, it might have been a little too easy to whack homers with the juiced elites of the time, like Mr. Barry Bonds. But hey, that's why we like baseball. In fact, bunting was too easy as well. Like this clip here. Fast players could easily get on base every time if you push the ball towards third. Fielding is not automated at all. You gotta catch each can of corn that's popped up, snag each line drive that's ripped your way, and it's not easy sometimes. When you pull off a great play though, it makes you feel like you've earned it. For game modes, Triple Play offers a decent amount. Exhibition, season, playoff tournament, and everyone's favorite home run derby. A decent amount of content for the time. I also appreciate that there's an entire section dedicated to stats. Stats on every franchise, stats on every league leader, stats on each player, even some portraits of the most popular guys. You can also force trades to update the roster and create custom characters. A little ahead of its time, I'd say. The created character is nothing special, just a name, number, position, and some stats, but the option is a nice addition. I decided to try out the World Series mode, so I did a 3-game rematch of the 1983 World Series, where I took control of the Orioles and faced the Philadelphia Phillies. We dropped Game 1 at home, but went to Philly and stole Game 2 off the back of Jesse Orosco. Fun fact, he's the guy who's pitched the most MLB games in baseball history. Now he's pitching in an Electronic Arts game decades after he's retired. Impressive, Mr. Orosco. Game 3, Mike Mussina ended up pitching a shutout to win us the World Series. Sadly, there wasn't any fanfare. It was kind of like we won any other game. Maybe it'd be different if I did a whole season and won the World Series. I don't know. Oh well, we had fun, and that's what matters, I guess. As you may have noticed, all the stadiums have swoop-in animations. You start with a vantage point above the ballpark, then fly around getting a good look at the stadium's features and the surrounding city it represents. Part of the reason I like going back to these old baseball games is that you get to see how each of these stadiums are represented. Granted, only a small handful of the stadiums featured here are still in use today, but it makes for a good time capsule of Royd's-era baseball. I believe the players here are sprites of 3D models, kind of like how Donkey Kong Country did their thing. I always found this look appealing because it's so indicative of the period in which it was made. But looking at Triple Play objectively, the look really limits individuality from the players. Uniform colors match the teams they're supposed to represent, of course, but you can't see any logos or lettering. The numbers on the back of jerseys are also a bit cheap looking because they're basically just pasted onto the sprites. The Yankees uniforms don't even have pinstripes, man, come on. As for the audio, there's not a ton to say. Commentary is pretty nice and smooth, especially for the era, I'd say. Most sports games of the time were choppy when it comes to the commentary. I think due in part to the loading times and the limited amount of audio space, but Triple Play 97 jams in quite a bit of commentary that flows about as good as it can get on the PS1.
Line drive to the shortstop. He dropped the ball. Throw to second. He beat it out. It's a base hit by Vaughn. 2 outs and runners on first and second. Next up, Mike Stanley.
Probably partly due to the fact that baseball's a bit slower and it doesn't need to be so fast, but it works very well. Triple Play 97 is a game that, by today's standards, is one you could have some enjoyment with in single player like I did. The gameplay holds up. It has a fairly arcadey feel, but gives the player control of all aspects of the game as a simulation would. I could also see a 2-player game being a fun, heated contest for 30 minutes or so. I just don't think Triple Play 97 quite has the staying power for me to come back like the best sports games of all time do. I'm thinking like Tecmo Bowl or NBA Jam, something like that. If baseball's your thing, definitely try it out, but if not, you'll be okay if you don't get to swing the bat in this installment. And this is the part of the video where we find a name in the credits and learn more about one of the game's creators. Today we're going to talk about one David DeMorest, lead animator of Triple Play 97. So according to Moby Games, he worked on a lot of things for EA between 1994 and 2001, animating sports games like FIFA, NHL, and of course Triple Play baseball here. He also animated Monsters Inc. for the PS2 and Twisted Metal Heads-On from the PSP. Digging further, I found out he also had a hand in film and television animation, working on the cult classic Ferngully from 1992 and a brief stint animating Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in 1990. I found an online portfolio of his and his stuff is really good. It's a bit surprising to me that he works so much on animating simulation video games since his style seems so crazy and cartoony. I'd show you some of it here, but he explicitly asks not to do that, so I'll honor his wish. It's good stuff though, and apparently he's still animating to this day. If you want to check it out, check out daviddemorest.com. Alright guys, we're spinning the wheel to see what game I'm playing next. If you want to add a game to the wheel, just comment down below. And the game is Simpsons Wrestling. Okay, I know one guy that's going to be happy about this one. Not sure it's going to be me though. We'll see. Thank you everybody. Have a good one.